John here, software engineer with 10 years of experience. I'm the lead maintainer of Latterly.io, which is an open source career acceleration platform for programmers. Career acceleration means it will teach you how to learn to code, help you socially network, and then help you land a job. When it comes to landing a job, one of the early components of that is optimizing your LinkedIn and optimizing your resume. Well, LinkedIn has made some changes recently. One of those changes is the removal of LinkedIn skill certifications. So there's a new way to indicate that you have certain skills on your LinkedIn. While I was doing that, I noticed some other features that they have. I guess they've been around for varying amounts of time. One is the ability to generate a resume from your LinkedIn profile. Now, I've seen a lot of people out there providing resume templates, but I wanted to see how well these sort of automatically and conveniently built LinkedIn-based resumes would work. Since you're going to have to optimize your LinkedIn anyway, wouldn't it be nice if we can get the resume for free? But we need to be able to tell if that will comply with an ATS. The other thing that I saw is there's now a LinkedIn AI improvement to your profile service. I didn't really get into that, and this is not going to be the main point of today's stream. But it did say that you could get twice as many views. Enhance your profile beta AI feature. So check this out. It did say that, I didn't dig into the research, but the top line is something like twice as many eyes on your profile, which seems nice. Okay, so let me give you an outline of the purpose of today's stream. We are going to look at some of these ATS scoring and scanning and grading tools like JobScan. I'm going to walk you through how I built this PDF using the new LinkedIn way to show skills. We're going to get grades on it, and that's just going to declare the bar, and then I'm going to invite you to try and beat those scores. That's the first thing we'll do, and then I'll also give some of my general advice, which we're going to be seeing this together for the first time. So maybe that general advice needs to change based on the results of today. But some of the general advice for beating the ATS that I typically give is you want to have a one-page resume, 2 at the most. You want to repeat technical skill keywords 3 times. Those technical skill keywords should be tailored by job family. So I don't recommend a tailored resume per job posting. I think that's not an efficient use of your time. I do recommend 80 plus applications per week with social follow-up and with concurrent interview preparation, continued coding, continued working on your portfolio, all of these things. And given that you're doing all of these things, I don't think that it's worth the additional time to tailor that resume per job posting, but you should have one per job family. And we're going to see that reflected with some of these grading tools. Let me pause quickly to go through some of these questions in the chat, and then we'll get into the tools themselves. Quick reminder, if you're on TikTok, you can go to LinkedIn or Twitch. Link is in my bio to see the full screen. Also, a bunch of questions. Let's throw a like on the video so we can send this around to other people who may be interested. Old account says, my professor still teaches Visual Basic. Do you think that language is still relevant? It's mostly not relevant. Ironically, as I was going through adding skills to my LinkedIn, one of my early jobs, I used Visual Basic. I used Visual Basic inside of Microsoft Word. So there are still some places where you can get a job. It's not like this has gone down to 0, but it's really, really, well below the middle of the pack, let's say, let alone nowhere near the top of the pack. Do you think you could get a 100% in an intro stats class right now? Probably not. Probably not. Okay, great. Thanks for the likes. Let's kick off. And you can see I've just searched resume grader, and then I have another tab where I searched resume ATS checker, more specific on the ATS. I opened up a bunch of these tabs. You can see the visited links in purple here. We're not going to revisit them. Some of them I've eliminated. For example, this Capterra article is in fact not a grader at all. It is a list of ATS tools that corporations might purchase. I'll go ahead and show you just so you can see. So like Greenhouse is fantastic, but they don't have a grader that I can use in this stream. That is like an employer facing tool. Okay, so for reasons like that, some of these have been skipped. Others have been retained. And we're going to save JobScan for last because JobScan, interestingly, has you paste the job description and it's going to compare your resume to the job description. This is why tailoring the resume per job family is important because there will be certain technical keywords. Here you can see .NET. And those will vary significantly between job family, but in a given family, the variation between particular posting is less important. So we'll do job scan last. We will go through these other ones first, where the resume is sort of summarily scored. You can see in the background there, 67 out of 100. I think that's going to be me. Before we get into that, let's see if I can show you how I built this thing. And by the way, in updating the resume, Latterly is 7 months old now. So that got added to the projects section. And then here's my portfolio URL. That gets added on the LinkedIn resume right up here at the top. So the way this works, you go to your profile. And we want to have a title line. It's mainly going to draw from your experience, your education, and your projects. Your experience, your education, and your projects. So I went through my experience and I formatted them for consistency and for a few points. One is I want to have 3 to 5 bullets per job posting. In some of the cases, I had gone too much, and we could see that that created a really long resume at the end, which is not ideal. It was actually up to 4 pages. So I went and I pruned that. What pieces do we keep? We want to keep skill keywords, and we want to keep metric quantitative results. Somewhere in here, I have some quantitative results. This is not really a quantitative result, but it's still a quantitative fact that's relevant that I led 10 developers across 3 companies. So this is kind of like a hard fact that's useful to keep. One of the things that I found myself pruning very often was the phrase "and more." So maybe at this original job, it said WordPress, HTML, CSS, PHP, and more. That was just like an utter waste of real estate. If you know the technical skills that "and more" refers to, put the technical skills there. And if it's fluff, delete it. Okay. Here you can see skills. This is the new way to declare skills. So LinkedIn is not doing the skill assessments. You simply outright declare your skills. And you match those skills to projects, education, and experience. So to add the skill, you can click this button here. There's also this employment type, which I guess has been around for a while, but it's been around newer than 2014. So it was blank, and I updated that today, although I don't think that's a new feature. But you may find that that's blank, and you can select one of those. Quick reminder, if you're on TikTok, you can go over to LinkedIn or Twitch, or you can go to LinkedIn. I meant YouTube or Twitch, but you can also go to LinkedIn and see the full screen. Links are in my bio. Okay, so you go here and you scroll down, fill out that description. You can drag this area if you want some more space to type, but you only want 3 to 5 of these. And then you add the skills right here. This is how you add a skill. Okay, that pretty much sums it up. So I went back through it and I made sure that they were consistently formatted. In some places I had used asterisks instead of a dash. In some places I had used I don't even know how I got these, like a CSS bulleted list, like a circle, which is not even like a character on the keyboard. So I guess I copied it off a website at some point. Thanks for the follow. Descriptions should start with verbs. Yeah, that seems like a fair point, doesn't it? So I've done that inconsistently, haven't I? Now, I will say that those verbs are not really what the ATS is scanning for. But in any case, yeah, I think it is a common advice to be action oriented, right? Okay, so we have all this experience in. There's the education in. Let's double check. I think you can add a skill to these. I didn't bother, but I think you can. Yeah, so you can add skills down to your education. In particular, if you're a junior, that's going to be a fantastic idea because you want to get those skill keywords repeated 3 times. If I have no experiences, should I just include projects I've done? The answer is yes, but also, as I just said, you can also add skill keywords to your education. Even if you did something in high school, you know? What if you have a 6-month gap personal reason? How should you edit a resume as a data analyst? I have no idea. I have no idea. And I also don't know. I guess it would be worth testing. I don't know that the ATS really cares about that. At least not out of the box. I'm sure that there could be companies that could customize it to filter that out. Don't even acknowledge the gaps, they don't care. Yeah, I think that's usually the case. You're going to have exceptions, but I think the main thing that resume scanners are looking for is skill keywords. I do know in some cases people have applied filters for those gaps, but I don't have exact data on this, but I don't think it's particularly common. Okay, and so here's the project section, and this is I added the new laterally thing. And I thought this interface was pretty cool. So you can add the website and an image, so it becomes like more visually striking. And I think this is totally a flex, and you can get your skill keywords in here. Open source, contribute an open source project to your portfolio. Remember, if you build a public GitHub portfolio, it is open source. Let's do a dash there. Why not? And I should probably capitalize, but for whatever reason, I don't like it. I did manage to study and got AWS cloud certificate. I think that's perfectly fine to say that you did that. And it's also perfectly fine to say that I took a few months off. I went on a sabbatical. I took some rest. That's absolutely fine. Would a quality control background in construction have a lot of skill keywords for this? I have no idea. The focus here is for programming. So some of those skills will be transferable, but definitely not all of them. So you want to bear in mind the job family that you're applying to. Just graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Econ looking for financial analyst roles, but now I'm thinking of data analytics. Do I only need SQL and Python? Yeah, if you have SQL and Python plus a bachelor's in econ, you can totally land a data analyst job. Absolutely, yes. Thanks for the likes. And then here are just a cool win for Latterly. I mean, in one sense, this is a template of some fact data that you can include on your resume. In another sense, this is just like some interesting numbers that I looked up. So as of this month, 30K plus visitors per month, 2K of those are unique. And this is just coming from my Cloudflare dashboard, basically. So I thought that was cool. All right, so this is how we get all these things. I guess let me save it since I lowercase the o. So now that I've got my education, my projects, and my experience filled out, and then you can go ahead with your licenses and certifications if you have them, whatever else you might add. But I think those 3 that I mentioned are the key. Then up here, you will click more and you will click build a resume. And this is where the cool magic happens. And basically you create it from profile, okay? Pick a job title, so we can say senior engineer. I'm gonna end up canceling this. It might have just made me another one. Okay, it made me another one. I think I'm gonna need to delete this because there's like too many versions now. This summary is too long. So one of the things that I did is I edited the summary. LinkedIn is helpful here because it has advice on what to do. And so I ended up not doing exactly this, but I ended up creating a summary about that long. Okay, and that will again save real estate on your final PDF, which is important. It's important. You also want to click edit here and make sure that you put your link to your portfolio here. So in my case, that's not John's link tree. By the way, this portfolio that I have right here is completely open source, like the website. Check out the source code here. So if you are in need of a portfolio site, you can go copy that. But basically, you just paste it here, save it, and now it shows up here. Okay. Honors and awards, I guess, whatever, if you want to. You can remove things or edit on this screen if you like to. Okay, and then you will download. And let's see if I have the actual one that I made. Instead of this is going to look slightly off. Can I cancel this? Yeah, let's delete this one. Okay, so I would rather show you the one that I made just a bit ago. And this is what it ends up looking like. Now, I do not think this is an ideal use of real estate. I think the text is too big. Some of the indentation is strange. But remember, this was automatically generated. And the idea that we're testing today is that if it's machine generated, maybe it's more machine readable. So fancy formatting and so forth many times results in a machine reader failing to read your resume. And so you might be getting your resume failed by the ATS and kicked out, and you might be wondering why. In some cases, that is because the ATS cannot detect that you have any years of experience because it cannot read the way that you formatted the months or something like this. Or it's completely unable to see the skill keywords because of the way that it's written on the resume. So while this is very, very basic, and I would say, frankly, a poor design, I would frankly say this is a poor visual design. It might be an excellent machine reading design. Very high contrast, black and white, larger font makes for easier machine reading. Okay, and then we do notice that this is 3 pages long, which doesn't seem ideal. However, the terse resume recommendation is based on the usage of the resume by human handlers. So if the purpose is to get through the ATS, it's less of a big deal, basically. It's less of a big deal. This is not an ideal resume for handing a human. It doesn't look great and it's pretty long. But we are checking on its ATS performance in this video. Okay, so let's go to that now. So here is res score, and it was the one I just showed you, and I uploaded it and it got an A. That sounds kind of cool, but that's just one measure. Here we are at enhance CV. And again, how did I get these? Just resume grader and looking through the first page. Maybe let's look at Zeddy. I don't know if I looked at Zeddy. So we'll look at some of these. I am trying to avoid ones that ask me to make an account. So I didn't have to make an account for here. I close this and we can see that I'm still able to see here. I didn't have to make an account for this enhance V. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce that. Yeah, I guess it is enhance CV. Wow, this is amazing. I'm just joining. Yeah, thank you for being here. Hope that it's helpful. If you're getting enjoyment out of the video, tap like so that the algorithm will send it around. This is really interesting. I haven't seen this metrics before. In addition to the overall score, which is a 67, which seems to be yellow on a red, yellow, green scale, we also have this parse rate. And we can see that the parsability of the resume, exactly what we were just talking about. Maybe it's not visually appealing, but is it machine readable? That is parsable. It seems extremely parsable. Seems extremely parsable. And then they have some action items. Oh no, your section lacks quantifiable achievements. Okay, great. So again, I have no affiliation with any of these tools, but I do like that they're giving us concrete action on how to fix things. Lacks quantifiable achievements. I would argue that hundreds of TPS scale is a quantifiable achievement, but yeah, I am lacking a lot of quantifiable things. Slash production bug cost, but I didn't give the actual number of how much. Can I have access to the recording, please? Sure. Yeah. So go to my YouTube video. This will be saved on YouTube. And I can't give you a link to it now, but if you go subscribe to the YouTube channel, it will be saved to YouTube. Okay, cool. These problems here are not inherent to the LinkedIn generation process. These all seem to be just things that I should improve in my verbiage, in my body copy, right? So is this a 34 and needs to be improved? Yeah, I think so. It needs to be improved. But I don't blame the LinkedIn resume generation process for that. Okay, so I don't fault LinkedIn for that. Spelling mistakes. Ooh. Okay, they're sort of like behind a paywall or something. Oh, yikes. So this one will give you like some details for free and then some behind a wall. That's okay. I was mostly interested in this top line rating. Thank you, Cindy. Okay, so we have this parse rate. It looks good. Let's see. It actually doesn't complain about the size. That's interesting. Well, it means size in terms of the actual file size. That is a good point that I didn't think of. So being of a suitable file size is going to impact your ability to upload into various systems. And some of the heavily formatted templates that are sort of go viral on social media because they look cool, some of those are very large because they may have images and various formatting applied. Sections, contact informations. Okay. Yeah, actually, wow, it actually faults the design. Look at that. Your email can benefit from some improvements. Oh, that's interesting. All right. Well, anyway, the overall score is a 67, and the low components of that score seem to have nothing to do with the LinkedIn thing. The parsability itself is actually excellent. Okay, let's proceed to this resumeworded.com. Why not? So they're going to want me to create an account. So I will not use this one. Will not use this one. Okay, sure. Can you drop a link to your YouTube channel? Yep. Yeah, I can do that. It is youtube.com/John Vandeveer. Here it is. You should also be able to see it in my bio, but there you go. I've posted for convenience. Okay. Now we're on to Teal. Teal would like me to create an account. No, thank you. There's no way to proceed without an account. So maybe you will try these if you want to bite the bullet and make the accounts. I'm not interested in doing that right now, but I guess you'll get access to a lot more options. I already have a resume. Let's do it this way. Okay, Zeddy. Thanks for the follow. So this one is builder.zeddy.com. This is the third one we've seen where we are able to upload without creating an account. Work history successfully imported. That's another good sign for being able to parse it. What brought you here today? Trying to see if it can pass the ATS. Find expertly written content for my resume. This reminds me, part of the standard advice that I give historically is there is an Indeed resume writing service. So if you are having problems with your resume, this I think is well worth the money. They do a resume review. That's not what I'm interested in. There's a different resume writing service. Yeah, here you go. You see they have the different versions. They'll do a review and give you notes. No. They'll do a coaching session. I mean, if you want to, fine. But that resume writing service is the one that I recommend because it's possible they can give you notes and you can implement those incorrectly and still have an ATS dispreferred resume. Does that make sense? You can have a coaching session with someone. Great. I feel like I learned something. But when I go apply it, it's like hard to put it into Microsoft Word or Google Docs or whatever. The professional resume writing, they will just give you the resume that works. um, it's kind of the opposite of the teach a man to fish mantra in this case. It's like give me the fish. Like give me the fish. I don't need to know how to fish. I just want a fish. So yeah, maybe do these other things as well, but this is they are no substitute for this in my book. Yeah, let's skip that. I just want to see the score if possible. Um, this seems like it's just building me a resume. Was review and score. Are you doing that though? Okay, let's hang in there with it, I guess. It seems to have imported really well, and what that means is that my origin resume was highly readable. What best describes your legible? Okay, unfortunate that you could not determine that by my resume. My education should have been clearly labeled, so that's unfortunate. Oh, okay, it found it. Why did it that? Whatever. So it made me pick, but then it found it anyway. Cool. This is interesting. Okay, this is interesting. Instead of finding the skills that I mentioned on my resume, and instead of the job scan approach, and we'll get to the job scan approach is I will find a relevant job posting and paste it. This ZETI approach is they will tell me the recommended skills, which is actually pretty cool. Let's see what happens here. That feels like I've said enough. Okay. Interesting. And you can sort of filter down. That's kind of cool. Although JavaScript is like way down there. What's the ordering feels wrong. Yeah. No, this is not ordered properly. Why on earth is R and Stata before TypeScript? Oh, is this I have no idea why it's ordered like that. Whatever. I don't know. Okay, so it was kind of cool, except then it was weird. And in this case, it's pulled some of the competencies from the resume. That's interesting. Expert recommended. Cool. I don't know where they're getting this from, but it is nice to have that pre-written background there. I'm going to skip it though. Looking good. The resume is optimized with smart apply technology. Are they about to pitch me on a sale? Okay. That's a strong pitch. It's like one click away. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good, but you didn't give me a score, right? It didn't. I thought it was supposed to give me a score. Dang, I think I just got duped. All right. Well, that was a waste of my time. Our time, really. So should we go to job scan? Here is Kick Resume is one of these that wants me to make an account, so it won't work. When we go to job scan, we are going to look at entry level, mid level, senior level. Probably that's it. We're gonna we might look at a couple junior levels of different titles to give you a feel for the fact that the match can vary based on the particular post. Let's look through a couple more. Maybe My Perfect Resume, Paint Minds, Live Career. Okay, we'll look through a few more of these quickly if they can get a score without creating an account. Oh, Resume Genius. I definitely need a genius. And we definitely need the Reddit advice. Here, let's check Reddit. So the best ATS. These tools are guidelines instead of a goal. So JobScan, they recommend that. Resume Worded, top line resumes. Cool. And I do like JobScan. I've used it in the past. This one is coming up again. They want me to make an account. Maybe it's worth it to make an account. I'm not going to, but take that under advice. Michael Robert, GPT helps. So GPT can help you write a resume. This is just not coming up, so let's not do that. So it seems like JobScan is consistently recommended. GPT can help you write a resume, but is it going to give me a quality score on the resume? We can do that too. I mean, let's go ask it. I don't know how helpful it is, but it could be fun. Let's get our GPT-4 quality score. And let me know in the comments if you want to upload your resume to GPT and ask it for a score. Let me know what you get. Let's see. Let's scale of 1 to 10. Scale of 1 to 100. What do you think? Let's do a scale of 1 to 100 because it seems like that's what the other tools are doing. Review this resume for effectiveness in applying to software engineering and similar roles. Grade it on a scale of 1 to 100, where 100 is perfect. Incorporate ATS compatibility in your grade. Give it your best guess and explain the grade. Okay. 1 to 100, you are a senior HR recruiter. Always gaslight GPT for better answers. Yep. We got to gaslight it. So you can steal this prompt, and that will, if you use this exact prompt, then your number will be comparable to mine. So try to use that exact prompt and see what you get. Ow, that was my elbow. Oh, it's breaking it down into subsection. Let's go. 30 out of 30 experience. You're damn right. 10 out of 10 education. It appears ATS friendly. That's interesting that it can just say that. Did the numbers add up? Did it math? So we're 3 shy. Then we're 2 shy. So we're 5 shy and another 5. So we're 10 shy. 10 shy of 190. Okay, it mathed. Good job, GPT-4. Cool. So according to GPT-4, I got a 90. According to ResScore, I got an A. According to Enhance V, I got a 67, but a lot of the dings were like basically the way that I wrote my statements, not the LinkedIn generation process. What was the prompt? Um, oh, did I lose my tab? Too many tab problems. So here is the prompt, and I will go ahead and paste this into the chat as well. Although you're not going to see that on TikTok, but if you go over to YouTube or Twitch, you will see the prompt pasted in the chat, I believe. Go ahead and grab a screen cap. I'm not going to leave the screen on here for too long. Okay. Thanks for your interest in checking that out. I'll be curious to hear what you get. Thanks, Michael. All right, so we'll do a couple more of these. Scan my resume. And the exact number I'm not real picky about. For me, I'm looking at this in sort of a pass-fail. And then if we get a bunch of C's, that will be, maybe there's like a red, yellow, green consideration. You're on the right track, but it could use some tuning up. Okay. Page count, it's too long is what they said. Oh, look at this. ATS compliance is a check. That's the main thing I care about. And I agree, it is a bit long. It is a bit long. 85 out of 100. Cool. Maybe GPT-4 is like not a bad way to review your resume. Personal pronouns like I and me violate etiquette. Just go away. You can go away with that. We recommend writing numbers out with their digits instead in order to highlight your measurable achievements. Okay, whatever. I mean, I don't think they're wrong for saying that. 2 measurable achievements, it's on the low end. So great. This tool actually slaps. Shout out to this tool. Okay. Again, it looks like the weak points are not due to the LinkedIn process. I'm a fan of this tool, but I'm going to consider this a pass for LinkedIn, even though like some of my statements need improvements. Ooh, this one would be a fail, although it says fair. Getting a 50 and you're fair. This reminds me of certain harsh graded classes, eh? Completeness, formatting. Word choice, I don't care. I don't care about any of those things. I care about ATS compatibility. Check your resume's ATS compatibility. This is your chance to get 2 times more interview calls. Ooh. Are you just throwing hot air? I would like a citation. What do you mean? Where's the correlation to 2 times more calls? If you need to grow your chances, make sure your ATS optimized. Exactly. As a result, about 70% of resumes are not seen by recruiters of the organization. Sus. Yeah, okay, that's really fast and loose. So basically, they're saying, like, if you're ATS compatible, you'll be in the 30% and not the 70%. But we don't actually know that you're ATS compatible based on whatever they're doing. They don't have primary research on this. All right. That makes me sad as a data nerd. Okay, that's loading in. My perfect resume. Let's get your score too. There's no way it scored that quickly, right? Okay. Wow, they're also saying 54. Completeness, formatting, typos. Should be polished and visually appealing for hiring managers and optimized for. Okay. Interesting. I'm not going to make an account. What is this? It's making you pick from these awful choices. Okay. And we're out on this one. The closer you can get, the more likely you will end up where you want it. That's true, but I wish there were hard numbers there instead of just like this intuitive thing. It wants you to create a resume. That's not what I want. I wanted to check my resume. Okay, so it looks like we have, and I'll put the links in the description to these ones that are the winners: ResCore, Enhanced CV, Resume Go, and JobScan. So 4, and then we'll see if we've got a 5th here. We generated your professional summary with AI. Okay, cool. Thank you. With a robust background in open source development and cloud solutions, notably at Amazon, expert in Python, Ruby, and AWS infrastructure. Cool. Yeah, I mean, that looks good to me. Would you like to include any references? We recommend not including references unless they were specifically requested in the job. Interesting. This looks better, doesn't it? Okay. I just want the score, dude. Man. A lot of these resume builder services are pretending like they'll give you a score, but they really won't. That's a bummer. All right. So these, and then there were 4. And then there were 4. JobScan, I recommended before today. It was sort of the exception to the rule. It's actually my sort of traditional go-to. So I'm a big fan of JobScan. And then these other 3 will get a shout out, and I'll put their links in the description. This one that I just saw today, really impressed with this one because of the feedback. All right. So here I have just gone to Indeed.com and searched software engineer, and I found software developer junior here. So this was supposed to be a junior test. We can see, however, it is .NET specific, and my resume does not have .NET on it. So let's look at this alignment, although I'm expecting it to be low. And what I'm hoping the lesson here is that even if you have low alignment, it could, like to one junior role, you could have high alignment to a different junior role, because it could be that junior role is looking for particular programming language or skills that you don't have. Okay, low match rate. Initial low match rate is normal. For a quick boost, begin by adding missing hard scan skills. Look, yeah, okay. Um, is it going to say, yeah, they want me to have C sharp. It's almost like a cheat code, isn't it? I don't have these skills. If I were a bullshitter, I would just go in and put them in there, but I'm not going to do that. And in fact, like I don't have these skills. I think JobScan is giving us like maybe the top 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think it's like giving us the top 10 for free, and then you need the account for others. JobScan is good enough that I would create an account. In fact, I already have an account. I haven't logged in though, and I don't really feel the need to. And it is grading us on sort of the red, yellow, green, good, bad, okay scale, as opposed to some particular number. Okay, so I am thinking this is just a proper bad match because I don't have those skills. Let's look for some others. Let's look for something JavaScripty. Oh, speak of the devil. Okay, so we're going to grab the description here. There we go. You don't need to get every word. I know that this disclaimer is not going to be a matter of matching skills, so I can basically skip over that. Here, I would now like to go back and like sort of do a new one, do a fresh one as it were. Scan my resume, Command A, Command V. So we're pasting over that job description. I'm clearing the cover letter. And then here I'm going to upload mine. And you can see that job scan will just turn that into text. So it's doing a text, some sort of text match logic. All right, and it's still a low match rate. This is interesting because I do have skill with React.js. Deepak, how's it going? Good to see you over there on YouTube. Quick reminder, if you're on TikTok, you can go over to YouTube, link is in my bio, and see the full screen. Here, I can notice a punctuation difference. So my resume will be saying React.js, while the job description was looking for React.js. And we can see the website is just calling it React. Here's React.js Conf 2017. Yeah, so it's sort of like a dating thing. The moniker did used to be React.js. There's good old Dan, good old Dan. So this would be a case where I would blame it on the job posting. I would blame it on the job posting. This is strange though, because Indeed here is properly saying React. And Indeed is saying you have matching qualification based on your profile. So it is still a good idea to use the Indeed resume then. And this will take you to the, here's the Indeed scan. So I do like the resume writing service. I've had students that it actually really helped them. But yeah, let's do the ATS scan with Indeed. Nice. I didn't realize they have that. I wonder if that's new. Can I replace this thing? Want to replace this? I think this is like my old one from years ago. Get your review. No, I don't. It's going to give me like a person who's going to do the review. Let's delete this so I can really start fresh. Okay. Now, I don't know. So since we're on Indeed, build an Indeed resume seems like it would be the more optimal thing on this platform. But let's go ahead and upload the LinkedIn one. Does this look right? Yeah, it pretty much looks right. I don't want it to be searchable. I just want, and then let's try to convert it maybe. Makes it easier to update qualifications and skills. Yeah, absolutely. Whoa. What? So that's really messed up. Deepak, I'm a backend developer. I'm searching for new jobs. I hope this tool helps me create an ATS friendly resume. I hope so too. I hope it's of an advantage to you. This is all out of date. That's fine. The question will be, can it identify my skills? That is the main question. Oh, maybe this is where I got those weird bullets on LinkedIn. Maybe I copied it from Indeed. I didn't think about that. Okay, so can it scan me now? Okay, so this Indeed profile January 27th. So this is the one from just now, and it has found one parsing. So great, this is basically the instant report. Awesome. I wonder how new this feature is. Adding a phone number, okay. It thinks my pie is a misspelling. It's not. It is a technical keyword. Okay, so its main complaint is like I didn't have my phone number on my resume. That's interesting. What is this parsing issue? Yeah, led and tested appeared too many times. Well, I better stop leading and testing. Applicant tracking system. Fields not found by the ATS may need to be edited or added to the resume. Right. No, it found everything. It found my highest level of education. Yes, it did. It found my total years of experience, recent title, recent employer. It didn't find the phone number because I didn't put it there. So basically, from an Indeed perspective, the LinkedIn output is basically totally parsable. Yeah. I mean, their biggest complaint is I should put my phone number on there. Maybe. Okay, that's great news. We'll do one more. Let's find a senior one and wrap this up. Senior principal. Here we go. A big boy for Northrop Grumman. Just making straight up guns. Let me also refresh. I don't know if I've refreshed since I did the new resume. Senior software engineer at fast growing something or other. Ship Junction. All right, let's see what's up with Ship Junction. I'm going to skip the benefits because I care about the skill match, right? So I'm copying that. By taking less words and making sure I take only the most relevant words, I'm trusting the skill matching logic more. Does that make sense? So here's the job description. Oh, it's going to be another .NET. We're about to flop. We're about to flop. Upload that, clear the cover letter, come back and scan. Cool. So the overall takeaways. Number one, the LinkedIn output. Oh, okay. Job scan wants me to do this. I think it is worth it, although I'm not going to do it today, but I do have a job scan account and I do recommend it to my students. So overall takeaways. One, the LinkedIn output is extremely machine readable. It's excellent for that. Two, being machine readable is not the only thing that makes for a good resume. We saw that I need to reword some of these things. So enhanced CV was maybe the best for this. And there was also good feedback on resumego.net. Links will be in the description. Measurable achievement problem. Okay. And the third problem that we saw, suppose that I solve the first two, I'm machine readable and I have measurable achievements. The third problem is there is major variation by job posting. Now, some people would say the solution is to tailor your resume to every job posting. I don't think so. I think you're just going to go for volume and you're just going to accept that some of those things are not going to match because there is this major variation by posting. So I just say you just make that that trade-off in order to preserve your time, because you have other things to do like practicing interviews, working on your portfolio, checking out those elite code skills in social networking. I hope this was informational. Thanks for being here. Follow the page and see you soon.